American Pickers star Frank Fritz doesn't run struggling store as shop faces backlash over cobweb-covered antiques. Frank, 59, owns the antique store Frank Fritz Finds in Savannah, Illinois, which has received some customer backlash in recent months over reportedly bad conditions and broken merchandise. A source close to Frank exclusively told the U.S. Sun he never ran the store. Frank would just take stuff up there and price it. Other than that, he's never ran the store himself. He used to drop stuff off and people would see him and ask for autographs. He would ask the people up there, "What's selling the most? What kind of stuff do I need up there?" While the store does get replenished, according to the insider, Frank hasn't been the one picking items because of the stroke he suffered in July 2022. The source continued, "It's time for Frank to get out to some buildings and look around at some junk he wants to take out there. He'll be picking out his stuff to sell." The U.S. Sun has exclusively reported on the shop's struggles. In photos obtained by the U.S. Sun, the store's conditions could be seen, including images of junk throughout the shop. In one picture, there were pieces of wood stacked together with no antique description or price tag. In another, a basket filled with wood scraps could be seen in another corner. There were even random pieces of metal stacked together against the wall with no description or price. In another photo, there was a near-empty display case holding vintage soda cans, including a modern-day Coca-Cola can, likely trash left by a customer. There are also broken items in Frank's store, including drumsticks signed by the Mickey Utley Band. The glass case holding the merchandise was shattered. In another photo, a vintage mannequin could be seen covered in spiderwebs. More cobwebs were seen along a windowsill, and even a large spider could be spotted in the photo. Customers of the store have posted reviews expressing their dissatisfaction with the antique shop. One customer said, "Nice people, but in all honesty it was almost like seeing things that were left in an attic. It would not be my first choice to check out around the area." A second commented, "I was a huge fan of the show. I stopped in to give Frank support and see what all the buzz was about. The place looked like an episode of Hoarders." A third complained, "The store is truly full of hoarders' junk. I was looking forward to visiting Frank's Finds but left disappointed. This store is full of overpriced junk and old oil cans signed by Frank for $55 minus $110 EA. I will pass." Another wrote, "Don't waste your time. Old stuff that should have been tossed a long time ago that is way overpriced. The place is dumpy and not worth the drive. Was hoping Frank will open something better that's worth going to." The outside of the building is also in disarray, as construction is being done to the upstairs property. The U.S. Sun also previously reported on the annual sales of Frank Fritz Finds. Per Experian's business valuation report for Frank Fritz Finds, estimated annual sales are reportedly $25,000. The company's business credit score is 27 and is medium risk. As for the financial stability risk ratings, the shop received a medium-high risk of 4 out of 5 rating. The report claims this means there is a 10% potential risk of severe financial distress within the next 12 months. Frank continues to recover today after suffering a stroke in July 2022. His close friends filed an emergency appointment of a temporary guardian and conservator for the star on August 18, claiming his decision-making capacity is so impaired. The conservatorship papers obtained by the U.S. Sun revealed Frank did have plans to revamp the store amid his health crisis. The initial plan filed by conservator Midwestone Bank read, "Mr. Fritz is a well-known collector and has numerous outbuildings full of valuable collections. The conservator has not yet inventoried those items but plans to leave them largely as they are now, with the exception of stocking Mr. Fritz's antique store in Savannah Field as needed." Conservator is hopeful Frank will be able to participate in selection and pricing of items as he did previously. A source previously told the U.S. Sun Frank is walking again after the stroke left the right side of his body paralyzed. Frank last appeared on American Pickers during a March 2020 episode. Mike announced Frank was no longer with the show in 2021.